You are now rocking to the hottest podcast. Okay, so it's episode 1, and the special guest that we have today is B23, aka Nihilios. Am I pronouncing that right?
Nihilios, yeah, pretty
Nihilios.
much, man.
I saw the H, so I thought it was Nihilios.
Yeah, it's a weird spelling. It's fucking Latin, I think.
Hey, I'm lazy, so I don't think of names like that. So I just settled with Mello.
That's pretty mellow, bro. Pretty chill.
So, what have you been up to?
I've just been trying to sort my life out, man. Like, get on top of things, pretty much. Like, I've been moving around cities and stuff,
Yeah.
so just trying to suss out, like, a place to stay and all that. It's often take up a bit of time, but trying to stay focused on the positive and keep going with music and keep just leveling up brick by brick, you know?
Yeah, that's all you can do, really.
Hard.
Well, when there's a bad point, there's a good point.
Hard, bro. The sunrise comes after the night.
Sure does. So, where did you start? Not you as a person, but you as Nihilios.
Well, Nihilios basically started like after a long personal journey. Like, Nihilios is actually relatively recent, so maybe like 6 months ago I became Nihilios, but before Nihilios I was B23 for ages. And B23 was a simple name. B23 just came from the first letter of my real name, which is Ben, and my favorite number, which was 23, right? So that's how B23 came from, and that's what I was just known as, like, originally for the first few years as I was getting into music and stuff. But anyway, over those years, I like went through a long personal journey trying to figure out what I was and like what I was doing with my life, like why am I here and all that kind of stuff. And I went through so much gaining something like real wonderful and beautiful and then just losing it. You know, I went through so much up and down and getting stuff torn away from me and kind of just getting stripped down to the bare minimum that I needed to survive. And that's when the name Nihilios comes from, because Nihilios is Latin, I think, or whatever the fucking language it is originally in. It means nothing.
Yeah.
And so Nihilios is like, I'm nothing, you know? And that's where the kind of background story for Nihilios comes in, and it's sort of like you go on a long journey to find yourself, and then you realize that you're nothing. Like, you're nothing all along. You're just on a wild goose chase, you know?
Yeah.
Chasing nothing.
Well, that sounds like a pretty rough journey, if you ask me.
Yeah, man, I think it's one of those, like, it's like an origin story. You know how the superheroes get created by, like, freaky accidents that mess them up?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, I guess. Like, Nihilios, it, like, the thing is, like, as much as it hurt my life, it definitely improved my music, you know?
Yeah, so
Like, my music is so much better, so it's kind of worth it for me, because I'm an artist that's, like, devoted, you know? Like, my whole life is for music. Like, I'll give anything, do anything to find my style and keep getting better, so.
yeah. So it sounds like you basically just paved your way to where you are now.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Like, I've just sort of feel like I paved my way to my initial creation now, you know?
That's great, because that leads us into the second question. And how long have you been doing this?
Well, it depends what this is, right? Like, in terms of music, like, just been
Yeah.
rapping, probably like 3, 4, maybe 5 years at most. Like it's sort of hazy for me because I started when I was a teenager and I was pretty faded like 24/7 as a teenager. But I calmed down a little bit now as an adult. I'm 26 now, so but yeah, it was like definitely it was in my early 20s, late teens that I
Yeah.
remember starting to take music seriously. But I first heard rap and started writing raps in my like, like 15, 16, 17, those kind of years. But I
Yeah.
remember the thing that changed my music and the thing that I think like was the reason why I did art or music in the first place. And I remember at 14 years old, I developed depression for the first time. And it was
Mm.
depression that drove me to art. And that's why I've like been so into art and found music and become an artist. And so I kind of say like it started then, but it was very intangible and didn't really take its form until later.
So your depression is what helped you become basically what you're setting out to become in life.
Exactly, man. Like it was definitely a negative positive kind of thing,
Yeah.
like a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the depression and what's helping you become what you want to be, did you ever think that that depression and the things that you go through would end you up where you are now with the going to shows and the doing the shows and basically building your own stage?
I think I think it's so crazy for me. Like I almost just live day at a time, if that makes sense. Like I never really have those moments where I can pause and think about the future in a realistic sense. I just kind of
Yeah.
have dreams, I just have dreams that drive me that seem so far away, but I keep chasing them, so I get closer and closer to manifesting them.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. That's kind of a similar way of how it is with me, but I I usually pull more from like what's going on in the moment kind of thing.
Mm. Like I think I definitely like because the thing is I keep basically rewriting my entire arsenal and just doing like totally fresh sets with a fresh style. Every time I go through a big period in my life, I kind of totally change as an artist.
Yeah, yeah,
And so it's like that each individual chapters, or little stories in and of themselves, I guess.
yeah. So what have you experienced as a person and not as an artist along the way that has modeled you and showed you the right from the wrong?
I think I think probably just learning to be like independent and like sound in your own spirit, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
like write with yourself, because I think that it's like life is so complicated and confusing that just finding a headspace where you can be okay with yourself in like a moral or philosophical sense is quite difficult. And that's been like the biggest thing for me, is just like coming to terms with my own character and like trying to get control of what kind of person I want to be, um, versus what kind of person I am.
yeah,
Because it's very easy to get like a hazy perception of yourself and kind of reinforce that to the point where you just live in a lie. But I've spent a lot of time like trying to figure out the meaning of truth and follow after the pursuit of it.
yeah. So it's basically like your whole getting in tune with your third eye or your spirit animal kind of thing.
Yeah, hard, man. Yeah, it's a very spiritual progress, I think, like for my story as a person. Like I think the most like guiding factor is my relationships and connections with other people.
Yeah,
Pretty much, it's like the main thing that probably drives the narrative arc, I guess you could say, of the story of my life. Yeah.
yeah. When I listen to your music, I can hear the pain and just the stories of what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's it's overwhelming to certain people that would listen to it, but not in like a negative way, but in a they can relate to it kind of way.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, that's what I see my music for, at least now anyway. Like, I guess I've been confused before and I've had a lot of different ideas before, but the main thing I see my music as now is like it's something to reach out to people that are struggling, like that feel, that feel on the edge and like in a dark space, and it's just something to not even like save them or change them or heal them, but just be with them,
So
man.
basically, like,
Just show them that they're remembered and they're loved too, they're not
yeah,
alone.
yeah, like you're not alone.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. It's just about being, it's about showing how like dark I am and showing my struggle, and sharing that other people, in the hopes that other people that hear it can relate to it, and be be made aware that they're not alone and that it's okay.
So basically, to sum it all up in translation, to show everybody that you're human too. Like everybody is human.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through the same things.
Yeah, hard out, man. Yeah, hard out. That's sort of where the name of my kind of group, if you will, or my brand comes from. It's called Blood Flower Click, and the blood flower represents like the intrinsic beauty that's in everyone,
Yeah,
basically. So like we're all connected by the same kind of spark of greatness, if you will.
yeah. I hear a lot of that in the community, really.
Yeah.
But you don't get that from a lot of people. You got a lot more negative than you do positive. But if you seek for it, you will find the positive.
Yeah, I think it's in everyone. It's just deep down, man, and is buried by a whole lot of layers of conditioning and trauma and things that people carry with them all the time, that just kind of messes them up on a daily basis.
Yeah,
Because it's hard to see the positive sometimes when you're interacting with people, especially in a dark situation or bad environment. But I think it's just about having the faith that love is the answer, and that it will be, you can uncover the light within someone even if they seem like they don't have it or whatever.
yeah. You basically just got to try. That's all you got to do. If you
That's it,
try, you
man.
will
That's it.
succeed.
Yeah, that's it. Like, knocketh and it shall be opened unto you.
Exactly. So, what's new with you? Anything exciting, like a new release or big projects coming up?
So yeah, I'm gonna be releasing this song called Angel, which is like my quintessential Birth of Nihilios single, which is also gonna be on a bigger album that'll be released in March 2020. But Angel, I'm gonna have put out as soon as possible, basically, and that'll be my first single from the upcoming album, and I'm gonna put that out like quite a while before the album so that
Yeah.
people can kind of know what's coming. Like get a taste of the style and begin to understand Nelios, and I can connect with people through that lens.
Yeah. You know you got to
So yeah,
send it to
that
me
song's
first.
just called, yeah, for real, bro. No, don't worry, I will absolutely send it to you. But yeah, that song's called
Okay.
Angel. It's a very simple title, but it's got a very deep meaning to me. So
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't need a big title to get your story across, you know?
yeah, hard. No, you definitely, like, sometimes one word can just say it all.
Yeah. My Life. That's the name of the album.
Nice.
Yeah, man, this is the first podcast. I'm glad I got you to be the first person.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I get to be a guest, man. I'm real happy for the opportunity. Like I say, like I love talking and connecting with people. That's like my whole thing. So it's great to be able to do something like this where we can actually have a conversation.
Yeah, it's good to just like have somebody to talk to, and that's what I'm trying to do. Because there's a lot of people
Exactly.
that's all out there like, oh man, I don't have someone to talk to, or
Yeah.
I don't have any friends. Well, you want something to do? Come on the podcast. I'll give you something to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's a really good project you're doing. That's a good thing you're doing, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. That's all the questions I have.
No worries, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, bro.
So let people know what you got going on, what's new, and what's to come, and basically just anything. Socials.
Okay, so my Instagram is Instagram/bloodflowerclick. That's just bloodflower and then CLIQUE for the click. And my website, which is my main page, is my own website, is bloodflowerclick.com. And yeah, just feel free to hit me up. I've got a album coming out in March 2020, and I'm gonna be dropping some singles from that album over the next couple of months to promote it.
Yeah,
And yeah, the album's coming out in 2020 is called Magnum Opus. Uh, First single that's gonna be coming out is called Angel. And yeah, I'm Nihilios, the founder of Bloodflower Click.
that's amazing, man. Well, thank you again for being on here and talking with us. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be posting this on YouTube, so I'll have your links and your Instagram and stuff down in the description. So
Cool. Thank you very much, man.
no problem. And for everybody who's listening, go check him out. It's crazy. He got good music, and there might be a future song with me and him coming up too. Who knows?
Hey, hey.
Can't get too into detail with that though.
Well, let it be a surprise, alright?
All right. Well, it was nice getting to talk to you, man. Hope you come back on again.
Thank you very much, man. No doubt, no doubt.
All right. I'll check you later.
Alright, see you later, brother.
See ya. So, if you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Because I interview anybody and everybody. All right? My Facebook is Mello Ramirez. Hit me up in the DM if you want to be on the podcast. I'll throw you on here. Like I told him, anybody who wants something to talk about or someone to talk to, hop on the podcast. That's all you got to do. And basically, that is about it. I ain't got nothing left.